Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent, we're glad you're here live from the Atzenhofer studio, as we are every single Monday to Friday morning from 7 until 8 Central Daylight Time. We're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, everybody on the No Bull Network, on Magic, on Facebook, on YouTubes. Stephanie Connie, first one in on the YouTubes. Checking in from Austin. Bobby Leister, Scott Tomko. There's your podium this morning. Glad you're all here. Thanks for tuning in. Lots to get to.
You think?
Yeah. There's
The Atzenhofer studio emphasizing the fact that they're a South Texas tradition for now over 100 years. In 1926, Ed Atzenhofer sold the first Chevy 500. I literally think it was basically
never looked back.
Based on what the car cost. I mean, literally, I think it was just the 500.
I think it was the cost of, was that the price or was that the cost to build it? I don't even know.
I don't know. 500.
Certainly wasn't
bucks.
putting out 500 horsepower.
The AT Deerland Feed, Wade and Carter weather. 73 degrees in Victoria, Texas, under cloudy skies, heading to a high today of 82. It's a lot like it was the last couple of days, just supposedly windy this afternoon. Good morning, Mom.
Morning, Mom.
Supposed to be windy this afternoon.
Well, Debbie Hode, good morning.
There you go.
Heather Stewart checking in on YouTube. Junior Samples. P. Strauss, good morning. Ricky King. Justin Glass.
Heather
Christ,
Stewart,
Rena
fresh
Scherer.
off feeding animals in the dark this morning.
It's because that darn daylight savings time.
It is funny how, like, I was like 100%. I like it like this. I like it to stay late. And then just as casually yesterday, our guest, and it was great to have John Paul Hull in studio, but JP goes, I hate this way. I hate it like this. I hate it when it's dark in the morning. Okay. I mean, it's just different strokes, right?
The time change never used to bother me. Now I'm like, I still feel like I've lost that hour of sleep that I lost Sunday morning. I haven't got it back yet.
Which is bizarre because we were on the road at a baseball tournament, and I went to bed at like 10:30.
Yep.
And we didn't have to play until 2 on Sunday. So I just woke up when I woke up. And it was like 10 in the morning. But it would have been 9. But it was 10. But I was rested. So, I mean, I can't really, like, play jet lag.
No, not at all.
I don't know.
I don't either.
The weather the next couple of days, free bonus from us. Tomorrow on Wednesday, 60% chance of rain. A low of 65, then it goes down Thursday to 54, then Friday to 49.
What are the highs, though?
The highs 69, 79, 79. The next couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, beautiful days. Sunny days, 54 to 69, 49 to 79, 58 to 79. Beautiful days coming up. That's how you know it'll be 90 in the afternoon. You go get in your car and it's so hot. Don't you love getting in a hot car?
Now that vinyl isn't the seat of choice.
Yeah, you get in and you smell the vinyl cooking.
Yeah. And you peel off your 2 layers of skin, depending on how hot the car is.
Oh,
Getting out of it.
I had to go. I'll give it
It's like putting an egg in a cold pan.
free
It just
plug.
sticks.
You know, the great thing about like a home warranty is nothing. There's nothing great about it. I had a washing machine go out like last Tuesday. I called them. They want that $70 copay up front, so I gave it to them. On Thursday, a guy came out to see me from dispatch from Houston. Turns out he's a local guy, but he's just a local guy. He doesn't work for a plumbing company or appliance company. So he comes out and he inspects my washing machine to find out that for those of us that don't know about washing machines, it's almost like there's a clutch that kind of ka-tunk, so that it'll spin.
There is.
Well,
Not almost like there is.
it wasn't connecting. And I could tell by the sound. Ka-tunk, 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 ka-tunk. It was trying, but it just wouldn't. The little washer that could. Yeah, just like that. So last Friday, I had to take some stuff over to, and I don't mind telling you, I think it's called Metro Wash. It's right there at the corner of Red River and Ben Jordan
Okay.
on the southwest corner, that strip center that
Yep.
has Szechuan and
Yep.
all that.
Did you go get some good Chinese food next door?
No, but I went to the little Mexican place next door to that.
Oh, that's a good place
It
too.
was good. And there's a lady there named Janie, and I guess I looked lost. I just had all this stuff.
Gringo on the south side of town with a load of laundry.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm sure the fact that I was a 6'4" white man kind of threw them for a loop there at the old washateria. And it threw me for one, as I was certainly the only of either there. There's nothing but
Still
bunch
use
of-
quarters in those things, or do you have to use a card?
You can now use a card. Well, you need to use a card because you almost have to go through finance to get it done. But Sherry Jacobs says you need a Speed Queen. I don't disagree, but at 63, I mean, I'm already buying a lot of stuff that's the last one you'll ever buy.
It's going to outlive you.
Yeah, I think I've already bought like the last, Dawn, last one I'll
Riker.
ever buy. Dog's only 2 years old, a year old. I'll never buy another one. I'll probably never buy another broom. And they're at the home. I don't need my own broom. But I went back yesterday and I had to do 5 loads. And when you throw, and it's Speed Queen, when you throw 2 big O loads into one big dryer, I mean, like the thing is, it's a 4-foot hole. And it said I just said, yeah, put it on high, right? I mean, there were clothes in there that were melting. It was like spontaneous combustion could have happened.
Good thing you didn't have any heat pressed.
Yeah. No, but Dawn
The old
has
iron-ons would have melted off.
Dawn has like some Lululemon pullovers and stuff, and they were so hot to the touch. I was like, I kept thinking they were going to melt onto my hands. Junior Sample says, you look like a 6'5" divorced man. Really, people walked up to me and go, I'm sorry. I hope it works out. I'm just waiting for my laundry. I'm sorry. I'll pray for you. Oh, mijo. This is so sad.
Scott Tomka says if you were nicer to your neighbors about their yards, they might let you use their washing machine.
Well, I just don't have, I don't know, man.
That's a lot to ask your neighbors to do 7 loads of laundry.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. I've got zero, just like we talked about. If you're gonna adopt a puppy, you need to be prepared to be a pet owner for the animal, for your neighbors. You don't get to let your fence tear down and your dog get out and injure somebody else's dog. You just don't get to do that. You've got to be a pet owner. If you're going to move into a nice neighborhood such as Terra Vista, any neighborhood really, and become a homeowner, you need to take care of your yard. You need to do it for your own yard. You need to do it for your neighbors.
Peer pressure.
So my deal on that is, like I told somebody the other day, if you can't do it physically, call me. I've got a crew of teenagers and we will come and do your yard. Or you can embrace the therapeutic effects of lawn work. Or in your $400,000 house, you can crack the code on your wallet and hire a yard guy.
So what happened to the washer?
Or you can move. You can move out of our neighborhood. The washer, I'm still waiting because the guy goes, yeah, they had to order the parts. And that's the problem with the home warranties. Like they're finding the cheapest, the cheapest part they can find. And by the time they get it here, I've done 12 loads at $5 a load, 6. And it just, not to
$70
mention-
copay.
Not to mention my time.
Your time.
It's brutal. Feel sorry for me. These are first world problems.
12 times 6, $72. Probably could have called an appliance repair guy for the $150 plus your time that you've
And
already
gotten it
spent and
done.
gotten it done already. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, well, lessons learned.
Ricky King
But
says,
that'll probably be the last repair you'll make to that washer.
well, because at 63, I ain't got that much time left. Ricky King says, I found that if I buy the cheapest washer and dryer I can, it normally lasts longer than the expensive ones. P. Strauss, solid, rock solid. Hate yard work. That's why I like the condo idea.
There aren't a lot of those in Victoria, though.
No, I would. Hey, Kendall.
Hey, Kendall.
Sweet girl. I'd love to have maybe not zero lot line, but just minimal footprint. You need a backyard for folks that have a pet.
You hate yard work, but then you're getting to a point where you're going to hate stairs equally as much.
Right. True story.
Or more in your case, because you like yard work.
I do. I enjoy the yard.
Yeah. So
I enjoy the result. I'm willing to put in the work. How about that? That's fair.
yeah. First State Bank of Louise World Baseball Classic update. U.S. beats Mexico 5-3, moving to 3-0 in pool play.
Good game. Got to tell you, a couple of people I'd like to have. I'd love to have Alejandro Kirk on my team. I'd love to have. I always liked what's his name? A Rosarina.
Yeah.
He's legit. Paul Skeens, just a star. Is he still with Pittsburgh? It's too bad Pittsburgh sucks.
Yeah.
This kid, I think he throws, honestly, like 7 pitches.
Screwball decided to shut her down. He made his one start in the first game, and now he's done.
Well, and
He
I
was waffling on that, but he decided to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to stick with my plan because he didn't get a long-term offer from the Tigers.
he don't want to get hurt.
That's what I'm thinking. He doesn't want to ruin his payday coming at the end of this year if he goes free agent or if the Tigers
Yeah.
sign and trade or trade and sign or decide to make him an offer. But
Well, it is interesting, except for the fact that Skeens is 23 years old. An interesting story. Went to the Air Force Academy, had family that's been through the Air Force, and he decided, hey, I'm going to pursue this baseball thing. So after, I think, 2 years at the Air Force Academy, he left and went to LSU. And after 1 year at LSU, he got drafted so high he had to go. But just a true battler of a pitcher, a real star.
Czechia and Japan playing right now. Canada plays Puerto Rico later tonight.
I like Japan against Czechia.
Israel and Netherlands and Italy and the U.S. tonight. That one was on Fox Sports.
France.
1. That should be a run rule.
France surrendered in the contest earlier in the day.
Interesting thought because the run rule does play into effect in this World Baseball Classic. I don't know. Is it time for Major League Baseball to rethink that?
To have a run rule?
I mean, when you look at,
it's so rare.
it is so rare, but when you look at the fact that pitchers are on 4 to 5 innings now,
Yeah.
and it seems like though when it does, it seems rare, but it seems like teams run out of pitching a lot faster than they ever used to.
But part of me is that's just the video game culture. I mean, there were multiple games back in the day, so you'll never see another Nolan Ryan. That pitcher will never happen again. There's no reason to throw a guy on 3 days rest and have him go complete game, which in Nolan Ryan's career was sometimes a 1-hitter, a no-hitter, a 2-hitter, where he threw almost 200 pitches a night because he was wild.
2 pitches at the time, right? They
They
only threw 2 or 3. Fastball, changeup, maybe a curveball.
Of course, when you're throwing at 100, you don't have to have more than 2. But, you look at it, and a guy like Skeens, he's out there throwing at 99 in the first inning. And you're a little bit concerned about, what if he gets hurt?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the Pirates, it's like when we were white-knuckling worrying about Altuve. I do like Benji Gill as the manager of Mexico. I think he's done a good job. I remember when he played. There's another guy there that was like the coach of Brazil, and his son plays for Mexico. Andy Pettit was the pitching coach, I think, for the American team.
Yeah,
He
makes
came out, he's
sense.
got gray hair. He's only 53 years
Makes
old.
sense for him being the pitching coach. Pretty good one.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was into coaching.
I see Barbara Brazil out there. Are you here by yourself?
No. Their better half is here.
Oh,
too.
she's meeting BJ too. Okay. All right. Well, when your party is complete, let us know. We'll have you seated. Get you a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
Randy Langston says some guys tried to get him for $800 for four conjoined yards.
No. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to mow about a dozen when I was a kid. It was easy money. I'd come in on a Friday and
Yeah, you'd have walking around money
yeah.
for the weekend, right?
Wow, and did Brent just cough after he said one one hitter? It's a little harsh.
Yeah. Let's take our first break. Then we'll get into some other stuff. First Day Bank of Louise World Baseball Classic update. Shiner's open,
making
right?
her.
Shiner's open?
Is it?
The branch in Shiner?
Oh, yes. They have a new branch in Shiner. There's going to be a grand opening coming up. You'll be glad. You'll want to go to that. It'll be fun. They'll have some prizes and things. But right now, you can get in free checking, free savings, a free gift when you open an account.
Slow cooker, I think, right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, nice one.
Nothing like a crock pot to kind of remind you of your savings account. Yeah. Awesomeness.
All
First
you
Day
need-
Bank of Louise. Friendly bank. Chestnut
One of the few
Furniture.
doing construction loans, too. If you're building a house, First Day Bank of Louise can
They're
can
very
do that for you as well.
pro growth. Chestnut Furniture Company. Chestnut can love make your house a home. See why you just always do better at Chestnut. Go by and see Bobby Leon and his team this week. You need a recliner, best recliner, leather, pleather, vinyl. There's a difference. Naugahyde. They got it all.
They got it all.
Go by and see them. They'll take care of your white trash services.
$26,000 donated to volunteer fire departments thanks to all of you who have signed up and committed yourself to 1, 2, or 3 year service agreements, whether a new customer or even existing customers.
Yes.
White Trash giving back to the volunteer fire departments who at times have been really busy. That rain certainly helped the other day, but careful. Going
Absolutely.
to be windy and probably going to dry out, so let's not throw cigarette butts out the windows and put those volunteer fire departments to work, please.
Parvita Wellness, get in and get healthy. Get your macros right, get your gluten right, get your name it. You want your calories, you want your caloric intake down. No preservatives, fresh vegetables, microwavable, great meals ready to go. Went Services, Went Electrical. For all your electric needs, Went can help you. Give them a call if you want a whole house generator from Generac, Kohler, Cummins, Briggs & Stratton, Honda, whatever brand of generator you need, they can do. They are the best in the business. And then, of course, the offices here at 205, John Paul Hall and James Geets have created an environment that's perfect for your business. You're right downtown. You're walking distance to lunch, dinner, cocktails. Maybe not in that order. If you're an attorney, maybe you walk for cocktails early in the day. We know some attorneys in this town that walk for cocktails at all hours of the day. We're joined now by the Bobsey twins. No, they need a
Yep,
microphone.
they're there.
It's one of the few times in life that we can slide one knob and shut up two women, but we're not going to do it because we're excited to have Barbara Brazil and B.J. Nelson. Y'all have to
Yep.
one of y'all has to get really close
Yep.
to that.
Is Cody
Yeah.
Union? He's
Cody-
not here today.
Yeah, he's it's in his contract
He's
to not
just-
be here most days.
Kind of a slacker. But for what we pay him, we get our money's worth. So
Absolutely.
we're so good. How are you ladies today and what is happening?
We're doing good, and we're representing the Republican Party of Victoria.
Yes. So it's that time again. And I wanted to give a little 2-hour show. Is that right?
Sure, you just take your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
This segment brought to you by White Trash Services.
So 4 years ago, I guess it was. You know when you go vote and whatever party you're with, and they say, "Oh, would you like to come to the precinct convention the night of after the election?" And I was always like, "No, I got kids at home, whatever." Well, timing was right last time, and I was like, "Sure, I'll come." I don't know what that means. I showed up. Well, we're calling it now what, Grassroots 101, Barbara?
Kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you really want, if you want to get involved in the political process, that's where you go. And you have the opportunity next Monday night to go to the Republican Party one. It's actually going to be at the GOP meeting. We're going to have the precinct convention. I'm going to let Barbara talk about that.
And the precinct convention, what I want to do is just give a little background so you know why we call it grassroots and how important it is. There's actually like a tiered system of conventions that's in the state of Texas and in the United States. First of all, there's a precinct convention, then there's a county convention, then there's the state convention in June, and then, of course, the one big giant one in the United States. In, they
That'd be
pick
the
out.
One big beautiful convention.
Yeah, the one big beautiful convention. And what we want you to know is the very first one, the precinct, is great because we get together, and we divide up into groups and we talk about what's important to you. What are the kind of things you want to see on a ballot? What resolutions do you want to put forth? So this Monday, we're talking March 16th, at 5 o'clock at night, we're having our social. At 5:30, we're going to be at Texas A&M Victoria at 3007 Ben Wilson, the North Building, Galvan Hall. Come on down. There's never a charge. Just come on down and see what this process is about. Then circle your calendar because on March 28th, that's a Saturday, starting at 8:30 in the morning till 3 at the Emerging Technology Center, we're having our county convention. Now, that one is really going to be fun because you're going to get a light breakfast provided by Congressman Cloud and a lunch by Senator Kolkhorst. But in between all of that, you're going to get a real course in how our government works and how you can contribute to it.
The propositions that were on this last primary ballot, are those the types of things that bubble up from these conventions?
Yes. See, those 10, they were not voted in, but you were voted on so they could see what you are in favor of, what you're pulling for. Now, obviously, we're going to have a lot of duplicates. And when you come to the conventions, bring your resolutions typed up, very brief form, because we don't have room for the Constitution here. We have to have it a brief form that you bring to us typed up so we can attach that night of what your contribution is.
What are you hearing are some of the things that local folks,
Oh, Sharia law.
yeah?
People are really down on that one. We've seen on the Instagram what Sharia law brings along with it, and they don't want any of that in the United States. So that's a biggie. And also, all this woke nonsense, Trump, I think, has really awakened that by poo-pooing and saying, no, we got two genders, we got this, we got that. And people in Texas were always behind that. So they're really hot on making sure those values are heard.
I thought didn't the state take care of the DEI stuff this last legislative session?
Yeah, most of it has been really slam dunk, but I think there's nothing like voting and really coming out hard and fast for people to really get that in their brain.
I don't ever want to miss the opportunity to point out the fallacy of this clown known as Tallarico and let you know that this guy, I've heard him say that he believes there are up to 7 genders this fool believes in. And I heard him say that for people's mental health, that trans people should have access to abortion care.
Yes.
Now, you're just an idiot.
No, he's he said abortion rights.
Abortion rights.
Rights for trans
So,
people.
like, if you're living in a dream world that you're a man in a skirt and you're living in a dream world that you have menstrual cramps, we might as well let you live in that same dream world and go, well, if you end up pregnant, then you have abortion rights. I mean this is just
these are
feeding
supposed to be
the mentally ill.
Exactly. These are professionals who don't appear to have taken a basic
Right.
biology class.
Well, he was raised by a group of Baptists. There's a chance that. Just saying.
I thought it was Presbyterians,
Same
wasn't it?
thing.
Well,
same thing.
I'm
Back to
hoping.
the convention. Okay, so
Yes. Next Monday, the 16th,
next Monday the 16th,
be at.
be at Galvan Hall, and when she says social hour, it's basically like a potluck. Yeah. So bring
Is that like bring your own bottle?
bring if only. No, it's more like bring bean. Bring
Bring
your
some
own
beans.
dish.
Folks, just take some beans.
Bring your own dish. Yeah, bring some beans. Bring your own dish, and don't stress out about typing up your resolution because mine will not be typed.
Yeah, but you have to be. If you want to be heard, you have to be legible in your printing or your.
Oh,
I'll be legible. I'll be legible. Yeah, but that might stress people out, to have to go type.
Well, just if you have a good idea, you can
Yeah, if you
share
have
it
a
with
good
the group.
idea, bring your
Somebody
good
will write
idea.
it down.
bring your good idea.
If it's a good idea,
They may
we'll
not
write
hit
it
you
down.
till you're sitting there and going, hey.
Yeah. So, but it's a very fun group. It's very congenial, lots of excitement. And I guess the reason Barbara and I wanted to come, like I said, we're calling it Grassroots 101, because 4 years ago, I was involved in politics, and then, flip a coin, and, here I am. And, I have this multi-year commitment.
Right.
So- Oh, by the way, did you see that the lead story on the news last night was about the bond?
And
Emmett-
where did you see this story? Like on the TV?
Yeah, I'm one of the
You
7
watch
people.
the local
I'm one of the
news?
7
You're
people that
one of the
watches channel.
5, yeah.
Channel 25. And Emmett Alvarez, they interviewed him, and he has been a naysayer for years and years on the bond, and
He's for it now.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So,
He's
but
given up. He's a beaten man.
but we've been doing these tours, and so if you're interested in doing any tours to come see our schools, if you haven't been in a school in 35 years, it's eye opening to
And,
see what
and
all
it's
goes on.
I encourage you to do that. I think for the most part, you'll be thrilled with what you see at our schools.
Yeah, Bill is on that board.
Or appalled.
And he was very, very impressed because they took him around to show all the problems. This isn't for like fancy, showy, pretty couches type of thing. This is for plumbing and ACs
This is what we
and
need.
mold, remediation, things like that. So he said it's every bit warranted.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I think the need is very real. I'm and we're getting off on a different subject, but I'm also very hopeful that Victoria does vote for this bond coming up in May.
I had a great idea, and Bill told me I was nuts. I said,
Let's.
Surprise.
Okay, so Ash and I will cast the deciding votes.
okay, Cass, okay. I think they should have structured it because there's a lot of people going to be turned off by $240 million bond. I think they should have done it a multiple choice. You could be $240 million, you could be $120 million, or you could not vote. And then people who were really turned off by the 240 and was going to vote no, they'd just automatically vote for, I'll go for the less. And we would have got something.
You know what that sounds
I
like?
think we tried
Ash?
that the last time, didn't we? And it didn't.
That sounds
We had
like
3 things on there, and all that passed was the Mission
Mission Valley, yeah.
that sounds like when you ladies go to the store and go, things were half off, so I bought 3.
It's girl math.
Right, it's girl math. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's a winner there. At least you get some.
Spend 100 to save 10.
Yeah, but I saved $10. Look how much money I saved you. Yeah. I like it.
So if you have any questions about next Monday, can they call Bill?
Of course.
What's his phone number?
361-727-7029. VictoriaGOP.com has a lot of information on it. We've got a wonderful website designed by the one and only Cody Bauman.
Yes.
So we appreciate any of you that would like to come down. I think you'd be very impressed.
And you both have my number. Do me a favor. Text me the 16th, the 28th, the details. You know, I'll know. If you just remind me, Galvan, I'll know that's the North Building on Ben Wilson. Blah, blah, blah. Get it to me. I'll give it to the commander. We'll put it on our website. Yeah, that'll help.
Now, it gets me to thinking, because you do have a large listening audience, is every county has something like this. So Atascosa, Goliad. So all you'd have to do, look at that, the No Bull Network. Okay. All you have to do is probably Google it, GOP, Goliad County, and it would come up and say when they're.
Yeah.
Right. The
Two
precinct.
women, one microphone. What could go wrong?
The precinct convention, they've scattered those, but the 28th, on March 28th, that is a rule by the Republican Party. Every single county has to have it on that date.
How many precincts are in our county?
20,
Do we know?
35, not even close.
35 precincts in our county.
Yeah, Scott Nelson is a precinct chair. It just keeps him up at night.
I'm sure it does. He's like, right now, Scott's going, I am?
I asked him the other day.
I didn't know.
Before
I
the
thought I was a
election,
pilot.
I said, well, how's it going getting your precinct out to vote? And he goes, pretty good.
Great.
I just
precinct
write,
of
I
one.
write to all my neighbors.
Oh, yeah, so she's overachiever. Yeah. Well, thank you for your
Hey,
time.
we
Appreciate
appreciate
y'all.
y'all.
Thank
See you a little bit later. You folks
Awesome.
will cut that. Might as well tell you while we're at it, Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. You know, I'm seeing more and more TV ads now with Palace Bingo, and I know for a fact, bye y'all. I know for a
Because you're
fact
watching more TV with the World Baseball Classic?
that, and honestly, because their advertising here has been so successful that they're excited to advertise in other avenues, and that's great. Get by Palace Bingo, have some fun, support 7 local charities, including Warriors Weekend. Get by and see them. The chopping block, and let me show you, I got something.
You got something from the chopping block?
I did, and I've got to
Nice.
find it, and I will find it. Right here. How about if I tell you $3.99 a pound chicken breast, $3.99 boneless thighs, $3.99 wings, Wacky Wing Tuesday. $2.99 for the whole bird, $3.99 for half a bird. $3.99 pork chops, $7 ground beef. So all your basics, your chicken, your thighs, your ground beef, they've got it all. Hello, Bill Posey. They've got it all at the chopping block. Get by and see them. Veracruz Restaurant, pre-Caldo Wednesday, Tuesday. Get in today for the full menu, sans Caldo. Go by and see them for the best Tex-Mex in the world, not just here, at least in the Western world, north of the equator.
Brent Anderson checking in. Morning to you, Brent. We'll give him a shout out. He's become a bit of a photographer.
Not a
in the
bit
last-
of,
yeah, he's
not
a good
an
one.
accomplished photographer.
But next Thursday, he will have his first solo photography exhibition at the Barshop Jewish Community Center in San Antonio. It's a private showing, but it's his first ever solo photography exhibit. And congrats to you, because that's not an easy thing to do. And it just shows that I think the fact that they're giving you a show tells me, and I've seen his pictures. He does great
Shows
stuff.
me
but-
he's made a lot of donations to that Jewish community center.
Or
He's
that.
done.
But congrats, Brent. That's it's well deserved, and your photos will be much enjoyed. And glad you're getting an opportunity to share them. Well done, sir.
Well, Brent's an architect, and as a result, or as a bonus, if
got
you
an
will,
eye.
he just has an eye for aesthetics. And I don't know why. We don't know why, as people, that certain things are pleasant to our eye. I can remember when you see the seashell shape of like what we call the Nautilus, and then you start finding all the places that those proportions are in nature. You start finding the golden mean rectangle. The Greeks knew this well. Centuries ago, they made buildings that were formulated on the golden mean rectangle, and it's just more aesthetic to your eye. It's like the perfect shape of nature. So I'm encouraged. I'm going to try to be in San Antonio on that day, and if I am, I'm going to go by and say Mazel Tov and go check out all the pictures. I can't wait to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. USA Concrete Coating 578 Home. Let Charlie Garcia help you sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it, whatever you need done. And as you heard John Paul Hall say yesterday, Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300.
Give Alan a call for all your towing needs, wrecker needs. Lock your keys in your vehicle. Alan can come to the rescue.
They have professional break-in dudes that can break into your car.
Absolutely.
For you. What do you make of what's going on in the Middle East? Are we
well,
still in charge over there, or are we
Yeah,
getting beat up?
Iran's still, attacking others. The more I think about this, this may be a little bit controversial. I don't know, but I feel we were played a little bit in this one by Israel. I'm not saying that, Benjamin Netanyahu is our puppet master like some folks want to think, but I can't help but think that if we hadn't gone in and been the lead aggressors in Iran, Israel would not have attacked them on their own.
I have no doubt that Israel reached out and said, hey, look, I'm not going to do it on my own, but it needs to be done. My question to you, and this is not in any way an indictment of you because you and I see eye to eye on really pretty much everything. It's just a radio show. How about if I ask you this? Are we willing to contemplate that maybe we got played because somewhere down in the bottoms of our brains where we don't like to brag about it, we don't really have that much confidence in Donald Trump? Is that possible? We would have never felt like we got played under Ronald Reagan, when in reality, Reagan was probably very likely to get played. He had different sources of data, and he was losing his faculties. Are we at the point
I
where
don't know that
we
he was
question?
80, but he certainly was by
Right.
84. No, I think what happened to draining the swamp? His first term was all about draining the swamp. This term, the drain seems to be plugged, doesn't it?
Can't disagree.
And I think that's the problem. I think the swamp is so big, and I think it's been a while since we've had a war, and we've stopped sending our munitions and other resources to Ukraine. So I think the neocons that are sitting up in D.C. felt, well, we got to get involved somewhere. We got to replenish. My Lockheed Martin stock isn't where it needs to be.
I can see that. Clayton Hill, good morning. Happy anniversary. A day late. Clayton, much like several of us, outkicked his coverage.
You know, and then
Good job,
it's
sir.
interesting, and I'm trying to figure out if this was legit or not. But yesterday, I mean, we heard all about the Iranians that were in the streets celebrating the attacks on Iran 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago. Then yesterday, apparently, all the Iranians were in the streets celebrating the new Ayatollah.
Right.
So which is it? Do they want their freedom, or do they want a despot to rule over them as their overlord?
You think it's
just
50-50?
the third one ever? I don't know. I think it's a bunch of BS both ways. I don't think there's that many people in the streets celebrating their potential freedom because they haven't done anything since the protests, right?
By the way, Randy Langston says, vote or die. I can see that as well. I also wonder, I don't know, I try to figure out how much the military-industrial complex drives this, and then also looking back how much maybe they've driven everything forever.
I think a lot,
Yeah.
because they realized that World War II was pretty prosperous for them. Kept a lot of them in jobs, kept a lot of them in power. I mean, think about it. Since World War II, we've expanded the number of generals from like 4 to 30.
Yeah. The other thing, though, is when you look back, and I've said this on this program for years, if you look back at Trump's results, which are often, I think most of the time, consistent with Trump's message, you also have to address the fact that you can believe what you hear in the media, or you can listen to reality and use your eyes. Donald Trump in this second term, you know, you may not like RFK Jr., and RFK Jr. may be a little extreme, but he's certainly not a Republican. You may not like, or you may really like Besant, but you didn't know that he was gay. You may not like Tulsi Gabbard, but she was a Democrat and she's a woman. So we're told all the time that all Trump wants is yes men, that he's misogynistic, that he's sexist, that he hates women.
Hates Jews, hates gays.
He's got Jews, women, gays, liberals, leftists, Republicans, independents. They're all on his cabinet. His closest confidants are this hodgepodge of American reality. And at the end of the day, the one thing that all those people have in common, they've all been attacked by the deep state. When Trump is in a meeting and tells them, you know what we're going through here, they all know. Tulsi Gabbard was on a no-fly list, just being harassed by the left, from which she came.
Derek Jameson says it's all AI, and that brings up that triggers something in my mind. Because remember when this war broke out, there was a story supposedly that we had bombed an all-girls school and killed 200. It got no traction. There were a lot of reports on social media that it was regurgitated footage from an attack in Pakistan 10 years prior. Well, It didn't get traction 10 days ago, and now they're trying to bring it back again. And I don't know what to believe anymore on this thing. Did we hit a school? Did we not hit a school? Seems to be a lot of credible reports on the internet saying that we didn't.
No, nobody
But now the
wants
media is
to
trying
hit a
to-
school.
no.
But if we hit a school, uh-oh. I mean, I'm sorry, we're at war. Randy Langston, give us a call, brother. 361-894-4020. I'm curious. You have a motto, elect no one, re-elect no one. I'm 100% anti-vote. And I wonder, humbly, sincerely, which group that benefits most. My heart says if you don't vote, you're probably helping the left. I don't know. I would love to have you on the air. No criticism here. I want to listen. I want to hear your thoughts. I really do. I mean, I'm sincere.
I
We're
think voter
friends.
apathy hurts the republic.
I think voter apathy hurts everybody. I would rather somebody pick a side and go out and champion that side.
I think it's interesting, too, that the attack on Mamdani's house over the weekend, which was a couple of young ISIS-inspired radical Islamists,
Yeah.
hasn't really gotten the traction that it should have.
Well, it won't.
Because,
It won't because it's against the narrative of the media.
well, and it's against the narrative that they won't attack other Muslims. They want what they want. They're radical. They're extreme. They use religion to get what they want, seize control, and Mamdani now apparently is in the way in some way, shape, or form.
Well, except that I was told that there were anti-ISIS protesters, and these folks,
Or ISIS.
right, and they just threw American-made,
Homemade.
IEDs into the crowd. That's what's interesting. But then again, those guys should be shot too. So many problems can be solved with a well-placed 9mm.
No, but were they attacking the protesters? That's the thing. Initially,
Maybe
they were
it's not
attacking
real.
Mamdani.
I don't
Originally,
know.
it was a Mamdani attack, right?
Mom Donnie is going to wear off real quick as he wants to tax everybody. We didn't really get into this yesterday, but if you make $150,000 a year in New York, you're living with two other families that you don't know in a little bitty place. So Mom Donnie says he's going to fix that by providing cheap rentals, but he's going to take 20 of your 150 to do it.
The DOJ has now charged two ISIS-inspired terrorists who attempted to bomb New York City protests. It's interesting how now they've tried to bomb the protests. But like I said, initially, Mamdani and New York City officials were fearful for Mamdani's life.
Yeah. Voter fatigue season is upon us, Scott Tomko says, and I'll share with you that favors the left. The things that you say on here you don't want are the things that the left will slide by you in a midterm election. They'll slide by you in special elections because they're organized and they are committed and they are driven and they are ready to do things to this country that you don't want. So you have to go vote. That's why they call it a duty. Randy Langston says, my position is this. We have seen the entire system corrupt. Then you have all the lettered agencies. Then you have all the contractors. It's so widespread, it's all of them beyond the poster boys. I don't disagree, but does anyone else agree that whether you like him or not, the one person who sees through all that, doesn't sugarcoat it, calls it out for what it is, I'll even throw you the bone while maybe doing something every now and then for his own family, is Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump, more than any president in my lifetime, has said, this is ridiculous, it's stupid. I do, don't you? Can you think of any president ever? I think an early Bill Clinton. An early Bill Clinton was close to saying, this is ridiculous, we got to do better. I do. I think he was close, but he didn't do anything with it.
But he didn't attack people. And I mean, I think that's the one thing that ticks a lot of people off who like what Donald Trump is doing policy-wise.
They just don't like Donald Trump.
Production-wise. They don't like him. They don't like... And you and I have talked about this on the air, how he just can't let certain things go.
Right.
Like, okay, Biden's now a year and 2 months removed.
Still calls him Sleepy
You know,
Joe.
I mean, enough. Move on, dude. Now you got bigger things to worry about. You just got us into what I think will be an endless war in Iran if we keep it up. I don't see how we can get out of there. And to sit there and go, well, we want regime change, but then we don't want to be involved in the regime change.
Right.
We just want to facilitate it. That's what we've been doing in the Middle East for my entire lifetime. That's what we've been doing in the Middle East since the 30s. And that's part of the reason why they hate us so much over there. Because we destabilized Iran. Iran used to be the only democracy that wasn't a monarchy in the Middle East prior to Israel being given the land post-World War II. Iran had democratic elections. We just didn't like who they elected.
That's right.
So we went in and installed the Shah. And then wonder why they hate us.
And the Shah did a lot of good things early on. He was, taking land from some of the oligarchs and giving it out to the peasants and things like that.
Then he realized, oh, wait, I am the oligarch.
That's right. And then he started thinking that he had power. Yeah, Derek Jameson says, I picked the only impersonations. I really do. I'll humbly admit that I do a really good Bill Clinton. I like, hey, Monica, come here. You got that cigar?
Brad Mitchell, good morning.
I like doing Bill. Bill's easy. I did not have sex with that woman. Sexual relations. Sorry, Hill. I said it wrong.
But here's where we are in the world. If not the U.S., who else? Britain can't do it anymore.
Did you see that? Did you know they only have 2 aircraft carriers and one of them is literally in dry dock? And did you know that Britain, the former kings of the sea, both of their ships still run on oil? Both of their aircraft carriers have to come to port.
No wonder oil prices are so high.
We don't have to come to port.
Make some sense. I know the price of oil's up, but the oil that the gas they're pumping at the gas stations right now, that's been there for 4 weeks.
Well,
And it's going to be a few more weeks before the oil. I mean,
so here's the way I had it put to
but
me.
I don't know.
Let's say you're going in and buying a gallon of gas for $2.50, and something happens overseas. I don't disagree. We had it phrased like this: it's a rocket ship going up, it's a feather coming down. I understand that because let's say that you go to Speedy Stop and you're buying fuel for $2.50 a gallon. And a war just erupts in the Middle East, and everybody says, oil's fixing to become more expensive, blah, blah, blah. You almost have to raise your prices now in order to have the money to buy future gasoline when it comes in at a higher price.
when ExxonMobil's making $6 billion in profits,
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Sound like a Canadian there, like
No,
we should
not at
maybe
all,
just
but
let
it's
the
just-
government take
But
that
if
over.
Iran is only selling oil to China,
Why would our
why
fuel go
are our prices going through the
And
roof?
we're producing more oil than
Exactly.
ever.
We're
Why
supposedly energy independent. We've got enough oil and refining capacity that this shouldn't be a blip on our radar.
And-
Why is West Texas crude at $100 a barrel when we don't produce it in Iran?
And we've got a new partnership. We're friends with our new buddies in Venezuela. Yes, Jennifer Rayburn says futures drive pricing today,
No,
so we can buy tomorrow.
I get that, but we're not buying our oil from Iran. Only China was, according to what Donald Trump said,
yeah.
right? And Russia, that's it. The Western world supposedly isn't buying oil from Iran, or are they? I mean, Donald Trump in Corpus Christi a couple of Fridays ago was talking about the huge tanker sitting there with how many hundreds of barrels of oil, thousands of barrels of oil on it to be refined in Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Randy Lang says U.S. has a ship down right now for a reactor replacement. Going to be a couple of years before it's back up. The good news is we have plenty of ships. I don't know. I look
And
at
then
these.
they always blame it on it's the summer switch. We're switching to summer fuel.
Yeah.
It's funny how these wars always happen around that time too, so they can throw that in there as a justification.
Without being a conspiracy theorist, and I have never asked you this about this particular situation, do you feel that somewhere, I always use the phrase trilateral commission because I remember when that was kind of a secret deal back in the day. Nobody really knew who was on it. We know now that, I don't know about Reagan, but both Bushes, Obama, Clinton, they've all been on Rothschilds and Vanderbilts and all the mucks. They've all been on it. Do you think that if some group like that kind of looks at the globe and says, here's what we need to do you think that this is a situation that would be being manipulated by those folks?
I mean, I'm reading right here on, 1440 this morning. About 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Well, our price per barrel hit $120 last week, and it was sitting at $48 the week before this conflict. That's more than a 20% rise in prices if we're talking a 20% squeeze.
I agree.
Maybe it's relative. Maybe it's a little bit higher.
Right. There's no doubt that
300%?
I mean, just the definition of inflation can involve a perceived shortage. You think, for example, that HEB is going to run out of toilet paper when they announce that there's a hurricane in the Gulf. So you run out and buy up a whole bunch of toilet paper, which creates the shortage. They're used to everybody buying a 30-pack, but you buy 90 rolls because heaven knows how long we might be in there without any assistance.
But remember, and memories are short, the oil crisis of the 70s was manufactured and didn't actually exist.
Was fake. I went back. Did you know that Jimmy Carter said with a straight face that to save fuel, you should keep, now this was in the winter, you should keep your home at 65 degrees during the day and drop it down to 55 at night.
Put on a sweater and wear pajamas.
Come on, Jimmy.
Randy Langston asked, has anyone seen that California's trying to pass a bill that will cause all software makers to require age verification to use Microsoft Windows, all that stuff? I think they need to do age verification on the girls that Bill Gates had affairs with over the years. How is Bill Gates getting through the Epstein without any scrutiny at all?
Yeah.
This is Bill Gates is, and here's the scary thing. Microsoft is so entrenched in all of our systems. And Bill Gates is skating. He might be the slimiest one of the bunch outside of the Epsteins. And then you see these three brothers in New York yesterday sent us, the Anderson brothers, I think they are, is their name. Very similar to Epstein, procuring women and young and girls as sex slaves. All around the same time Epstein was doing this. You can't tell me there was no connection between the four of them. And they were, I think they dropped 2 charges because one of the attorneys hired a private investigator to go and intimidate one of the witnesses. So she said she was no longer felt safe to testify against these guys. This is how slimy it is. This is straight out of the New York Times. This is how slimy these guys are. You're telling me 3 brothers in New York in 2008, 2009, and earlier didn't have any connection to Epstein at all. I wonder if their names are in the Epstein files.
You know, it is interesting to me. I've been following some stuff on social media where people that up until recently with me, even though we didn't agree, they had a certain level of credibility. I looked at them as people that were following stories. They've been putting out these emphatic Epstein file. CNN acquires unredacted Epstein videos. Donald Trump is done. Yada, yada, yada. And I went and did some research on a supposed complaint by a 13-year-old woman, very graphic in what she says Donald Trump did to her, and she knew it was Donald Trump at the time, and yada, yada, yada. And then I found out that it had been submitted anonymously because now she doesn't want. She's so committed to getting the bad guy, but she don't want anybody to know who she is because she's moved on with her life. And it was submitted 3 different times and was rejected 3 different times by the courts, and that there was never any evidence of any credible nature, no witnesses, no corroboration, no anything. And yet, people who have been like the Krasenstein brothers, but I mean, I'm not fans, but they're prolific social media posters who are no doubt paid to post. They are putting that out there like, Donald Trump is done. He must resign immediately. And then you find out that there's nothing. And this CNN video, I scanned it. It does. It's a video of a bunch of young women. They're all dressed. Most of the time they're playing on the beach. They are somebody's kids. And I can't see, it's not like you see Donald Trump run out there in a banana hammock and, do the Humpty Hump. I'm just like, come on.
Well, yesterday there's one circulating on social media, him hugging his granddaughter, the golfer.
And they act like, tell me this man's not a pedophile.
Exactly. He's hugging his granddaughter on the golf course. He looks like he's whispering something in her ear.
Yeah, probably like.
And the headline was something like, wait till you see what he does next. And then there's nothing next because that was it.
That's right. Junior Simple says the 13-year-old girl's story would be called a lie in most circles. By the way, that girl's probably, honestly, 45 years old now. I mean, okay, step up. Put your name to it. Write the book. Or leave the president alone. I don't get it.
I don't either. Cowboys missed the mark on the weekend. They were trying to get that defensive end from the Raiders, didn't get him, and apparently not being very active in free agency right off the bat.
They cost money.
They did put a second-round rider on Brandon Aubrey, their kicker. There were some rumors they were going to franchise him, but now if somebody signs him, they don't match. They get a second-round draft pick. Ooh, when he's 30% of your offense, you need to re-sign him.
Yeah. I also saw, though, where the running back from somewhere and a wide receiver from somewhere else both went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Did you see that? We just flipped right by that, but did you see where members of the Iranian soccer team
Yeah, there were some issues in they were down in Australia and they wouldn't I think 5 of them defected. The rest of them tried to get asylum in Australia, and Australia basically said no. And that they were going to go back because they were branded traitors for not singing the national anthem prior to their game their match earlier this month. And now people are saying that if they fly back, and I think they're supposed to today or tomorrow, they'll basically be condemned to death by the new Ayatollah.
I don't think people understand what you're having to deal with in terms of Sharia law and just that lifestyle. I don't think people
and the lack
understand.
of respect for women, the lack of equal opportunity and rights for women.
Makes the Republicans look like benefactors.
Beer sales may be lagging this year, according to most of the industry, but what hasn't are the canned cocktails or the ranch waters, some of those things that aren't beer but are made with vodka spritzers, tequila, those sorts of things. Those are kind of
So
shaking it up.
shares of let's see, how about this? Anheuser-Busch. The company has emerged from the other side of a Bud Light boycott. Your voice matters. As a bright spot among an industry grappling with customers that are drinking less or ditching beer entirely. You're seeing a lot more ranch water, vodka drinkers.
CNN Business. Well, that's because beer, even the ultras, they still have 96 calories and 8 to 10 grams of carbs, and people are trying to not drink carbs.
Says Michelob Ultra is at a 5-year high, hovering at a 5-year high. It's the top-selling beer in America, which means I guess it's taking back the top spot from Modelo.
Yep.
There you go.
So, yeah. Non-beer brands of Anheuser-Busch, InBev, Cutwater, Neutral.
Neutral does a good job. They sell a bunch of those. They're in thick at Dyken Park.
So,
Yeah, Patrick Strauss says beer sales had to fall. He drinks mostly bourbon now.
absolutely.
Folks, that's a great place to call it.
It
a day.
is.
Top of the hour, we love you. Tune in tomorrow on Caldo Wednesday. Get by and see what's going on at Veracruz today.
Everything but the Caldo.
Yeah. Hey, love you guys. Have a great day.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.